at the front is Nathan Gerein. Nathan Gerein is going to look at combustion. I commented that combustion requires oxygen. He's just going to prove me wrong.
Well, we don't have to call it combustion, we could call it oxidation. Or burning. How about we just say burning? And Roy mentioned already the burning of finely divided aluminum. You might not normally think of metal as burning, but what about magnesium? Burn? Yeah, and so what would you do if you encountered a magnesium fire? Any suggestions? What's that? Panic? Run? Throw water on it? Carbon dioxide? No. Okay, so it takes a little while to get going. And so I'm going to start by just burning a little bit in air. There we go. Okay, it's pretty bright. It turns out that if you burn it in the presence, it'll actually continue to burn in the presence of water, nitrogen, or even CO2. And so to illustrate that, when it burns in the presence of CO2, it actually burns brighter and hotter than it does in air. And so I've loaded a fair bit of magnesium into here. And so what is this? Dry ice, right? And so it's not just CO2, but it's really cold CO2. And I'm going to try this. This doesn't always work. But I'm actually going to try and light it using a little piece of magnesium as a wick. And so we'll see how that goes. And I may need a torch too, but let's give it a second here. Yeah, the torch down here.
I've got a torch over here, Nathan.
Let's try our torch. Okay, we'll see if it keeps going. Yeah, all right. Plan B. I expected that. Don't worry, it'll get better. Okay, and so one more word of caution here. Once it does get burning, it will be quite bright, and so just use a little bit of caution when looking at it. Okay, lights down. And so as I mentioned, caution in staring directly at it. And so I put a fairly decent load of magnesium in there.
Repeat after me. That bird mark was there when we started.
Hey, this is just a table. It's not part of the building. And so there's a fairly intense burning of magnesium in the presence of carbon dioxide. And why it is true that if you encounter an apple fire, you just have to burn down. So I'll ask you guys one more question. Can you zoom in on this? So you saw what it looked like when I put it in there. And so what's in here now? Aluminum oxide? Magnesium oxide. And what's all the black stuff? Carbon. And the smoke is CO2. Well, yeah. What CO2 is given off?